Hello, lovelies, and welcome to the first astrology lesson. I know we've kind of went over this before. Not all of you guys have seen that live stream though where I discussed this, plus it's like super long, and so I wanted to start this off like within video format. That way you can go back and watch it whenever, and if you do have questions and stuff, you're welcome to ask in the live streams that we do for Soulology. So just write them down, that way you'll remember for the next Soulology live, or you can just ask in the chat or in the group or wherever until then. So today we are going to start off the astrology lesson. Let me fix this light really quick. Today we're going to start off our first astrology lesson with the signs. I figured it would be more important to go over the signs. So I am making like an astrology wheel so I can better show you when we get to the houses and how to read a chart and all of that. But I'm still waiting on some of the supplies I ordered. I've gotten some of them, but Amazon has been screwing up. So I'm still waiting on a few things that I ordered for that. So we're just going to start with the signs. So if you're interested in learning astrology, I'm going to try to make this very basic and simple, just the basics of astrology. That's what we're starting with, and basically teach you how to kind of interpret a chart in an easier way, to where you can look at your own chart and read things, you can look at someone else's chart and read things, and if you ever do get confused about things, you'll know exactly what to look up, because you'll know the different terminologies and all of that to Google if you do want to look something up and so on. So we're going to start with the signs. As most of you, I'm sure, probably know, there are 12 signs in the zodiac. 12 is an important number when learning astrology because there's not only 12 signs, but there's 12 houses, and we'll get into that more when we get into the houses in our next video that we do. But for now, we're going to go over the signs. So there's 12 signs. So typically, you know, like on a calendar, the year starts with January, right? But in the zodiac, it's a little different. The year starts in the end of March and into April. We don't, because Capricorn is, you know, the beginning of the year, but the beginning of the zodiac is actually Aries. Aries is the first sign. Aries is a fire sign. So there are 4 elements. We have fire, earth, air, and water. And so this is really important. And then we also have cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. And these aren't elements. They're more of just the types of different signs, basically. So cardinal signs are, we'll get into that. I don't want to confuse you. So we're going to start in order, right? So the first sign is Aries. And they have different like little phrases for each sign that I kind of discussed in the old live that I did, and so I'm going to basically tell you them, and I'm also going to make like an actual worksheet, like just like a sheet that you can have, that you can print off, or that you can look back at, that will lay everything out for you in an easier way once you start learning how to look at a chart and stuff as well. So if you want to write these things down now, you're fine. Or if you want to wait until I do the whole worksheet thing, that's fine too, because I'll have all of this on there. But so Aries is a fire sign. It's a cardinal sign. Cardinal is like the beginning. It's like a new start, right? It's like the push-off moment, the spark. And so Aries as a sign, it's a fire sign. Aries is the first sign. Therefore, it is all about the self. It is all about the soul in this life. Aries are very driven. Sorry about that. Aries are very driven by the soul. You know, they are almost like the child of the zodiac. They're the first sign. So it's almost like if you got dropped off here on this earth, the first thing you realize is you're you, right? And that's what Aries is all about, your identity, right? And who you are as a person. And they're very driven, and you know, they're normally like natural born leaders because of that identity. And remember guys, I'm a mess over here. These are generalizations. So, you know, if you're an Aries or you have a lot of Aries in your chart and you don't relate to everything right off the bat, you'll figure out why, because astrology is so complex, you guys. Like, even like, and most of you know, I'm not a professional astrologer. I've been into astrology my whole life. I've gotten really deeper into it, like learning how to read charts and stuff, just within the last about 6 years now. So, and I'm still learning, you know, and my boyfriend is the one that really taught me a lot of what I know, and then I went on to learn more through different sources and different places and on my own, and just by reading charts on my own. And we both look at charts a little bit differently now. Like, and you'll kind of discover your own way of looking at charts, and things will come to you kind of intuitively as well as you learn. But basically he's still learning, and he's been studying it years before he started teaching me, you know what I mean? And so and even professional astrologers, you know, if you watch any other astrologers on YouTube, you'll see like a lot of them will have other astrologers on their channel where they'll have like a conversation, and they'll both be learning something from the other person's techniques. So there's no like one way to look at astrology. So anybody that tells you that on this path, or anybody that tries to tell you this isn't this, this is that, that's not the case. There are so many different ways to use astrology, to read astrology, to look at astrology, to learn astrology. And so that's why I'm trying to confine it down to like a very simple, basic way for you guys to understand how to do this. So anyways, Aries is a cardinal sign. And like I said, cardinal just means the beginning, the push, right? And there are cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs, so 3. And then there are 4 elements: fire, water, earth, air, right? So anyways, Aries, like I said, is ruled by fire. So it's like you were just dropped off here, and like I was saying before, it's like your who you are, like your identity, who you are as a person, that drive, right? That we all have in us. And for me, Aries really kind of almost stands for the soul in a type of way. So Aries is also ruled by Mars, and we're going to have a whole nother video on the planets and what the planets stand for and all of that. I have a bunch of notes here that I took a long time ago that I'm going to share with you guys in all of these videos, so get ready. But today we're just going over the signs. I know I keep getting off track. So anyways, the next sign, the second sign of the zodiac, is Taurus, right? And like I said, Aries is I am. That's the quotation for Aries, I am. And Taurus is I have. So, right, so you just got dropped here off on this earth. You realize you're you, right? You realize the Aries, the you, the soul, right? And then your identity. And then Taurus comes along and it's like, okay, I have, right? It's almost like in the tarot, like when you start off with the Fool, right? The Fool is there. And then you move on to the Magician. And it's like, even though the Magician isn't Taurus energy, and the Fool isn't normally really Aries energy, but a lot of readers will say it is. And I agree that it's a very Aries-like energy. But the Magician is like, okay, what tools, what resources do I have? And that's what Taurus is. What resources do I have? What material things do I have? What money can I make? What can I build? Like, etc., etc. Taurus is an earth sign, and the dates for Taurus is 4/20, so April 20th to May 20th. And by the way, the dates for Aries are March 21st to April 19th. But Taurus is an earth sign, like I was saying before, so it's very in this earth. It's a fixed sign. So that's why Taurus, it's fixed earth. So that's why people will, you know, generalize Taurians as being stubborn and so on, because of that fixed earth energy. It's like, no, it has to be this way, right? And a fixed sign basically means, you know, like once we create something, we have to like do the ebb and flow thing, right? It has to kind of, we have to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? We have to kind of fix it, make sure it kind of stays, you know, where how it was created, basically. So that is basically what Taurus is. Taurians normally like to be very comfortable, and are, you know, they can be stubborn, like they can be stubborn. So there's that. But Taurus is ruled by Venus, so very into beauty, very into creativity, very into that's why they like to be comfortable. They take pleasure in things, you know. And so if you're dropped off here on this earth, you're going to quickly find the things that you like to do, the things that your hobbies, right? Taurus rules hobbies, and the things that you can create, the resources that you have at your disposal, the things that you take pleasure in, right? And so the next sign we have is Gemini, and the little quote for Gemini is I think. So Gemini is from May 21st to June 20th. It's an air sign, and it is a mutable sign. Now, and the signs always go in order from cardinal, fixed, mutable, right? And yeah, so Gemini is all about the thinking, all about the head, what's going on in your head, right? What ideas do you have? And it's a mutable sign, so therefore it's changing. It's that part of our mind that always is going, right? And, you know, that's why Geminis can be very social and talk a lot, and, you know, want to socialize and mingle, and you know, and that's kind of where they get the 2 different personalities from, because it's mutable, it's changing air, always changing your mind. So like my Gemini son, for example, literally, like, he'll say something, and then a few minutes later I'll be like, well, you just said this, and no, I didn't. Like, and he'll completely switch sides within literally a couple minutes, and you're like, whoa, you know. So Yeah, so anyways, then we come back to a cardinal sign, which is Cancer. So Aries cardinal, Taurus fixed, Gemini mutable, Cancer cardinal again. So in each cardinal, fixed, and mutable, so there's 3, right? Cardinal, fixed, mutable. Since there's 12 signs, they each have four. So there's 4 cardinal signs, there's 4 fixed signs, and there's 4 mutable signs, right? And then we have the elements fire, earth, air, water, and then there is 3 in each element. Okay, so if that makes any sense at all. So Cancer is the other cardinal sign besides Aries, but it's a water sign, it's not a fire sign. So there's basically a cardinal sign of each element, and then there's a fixed sign of each element, and then there's a mutable sign of each element, if that makes sense. So Cancer, the quote for Cancer is I feel. Cancer is from June 21st to June 22nd, or I'm sorry, July 22nd. And Cancer is, like it says, all about the feelings. Cancer rules kind of like the mother because it's ruled by the moon. By the way, I forgot to mention Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. Therefore, it has, it's got that motherly intuition, that motherly instinct, family. Cancer rules family. Cancer rules all of those types of things that we are emotional about, right? That we feel. It can rule our home, all of that type of stuff. So anyways, moving on. So then we go to Leo. So Leo's quote is I will. Leo is from July 23rd to August 22nd. It's also a fire sign, so just like Aries. And then it is a fixed sign, so it is fixed fire. So it is, it is finding that passion inside of us. What will we do with that passion inside of us? And so Leo is ruled by the sun. So, the sun is also kind of about our soul and all of that. And so Leo basically rules that fixed passion inside of us, something that we can create with, right? So then we move on to Virgo. So Virgo's quote is I analyze. Virgo is from August 23rd to September 22nd. Virgo is a earth sign, and it is a mutable sign. So it is mutable earth. So it is I analyze. So it is taking the tools and the resources of earth, right, that we had in Taurus, and that we've developed with all the other different signs, and changing them and doing something different, right? And so Virgo is all about the details and all of that, everything that we've been learning in September for Virgo season so far. So anyways, moving on, then we go to Libra. Oh, hold on. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini. So then we move on to Libra, and Libra is I balance. Libra is from September 23rd to October 22nd. It is an air sign, and it is also a cardinal sign. So it's with Cancer and Aries that are also cardinal signs, right? So Libra is the beginning again, and this is where, Virgo with the mutable earth, everything changes. The season changes, and then we go into fall and Libra season, so it's the beginning. It's like a new slate. And you will see when we go over the chart that I'm making and the houses and stuff, how everything literally flips when we get to Libra, and that's why it's I balance. It's 2 sides. It's seeing both sides, right? And it's an air sign, and it's a cardinal sign, so it's like the beginning of new ideas, new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating, all of the air types of things that we associate with ourselves. So yeah, Libra is also ruled by Venus, just like Taurus. So it's all about beauty, relationships. And through our relationships, we learn about ourselves, right? It's this balance between self and other with Libra. So then we move on to Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled, its original ruler is Mars. But it is, since we found Pluto, it is now ruled by Pluto as well. So Scorpio is I desire. It is from October 23rd to November 21st. It is a water sign, and it is fixed water. So it's basically like a fixed pond, or down at the bottom of the ocean, it's dark. And this is what I tell people. If you've gotten a reading with me, then you've probably heard this before. Scorpio is the darkness, right? We start coming into the darkness in Libra season because we're shedding all the old stuff, right? It's a new beginning. And then in Scorpio, it's like we find that old stuff within us, not old, the dark, the deep secrets within us, right? The shadow side. And Scorpio is like the bottom of the ocean, right? Because when I say dark, when you say dark, people automatically think evil or the devil or Satan or what the hell ever. But that's not what Scorpio is. Darkness does not mean evil. We all have darkness in us. We all have light in us. It's finding the balance between the two, right? Going back to Libra. And it's learning to balance that Scorpio energy and that darkness within us. So Scorpio is like the bottom of the ocean. It's dark, it's deep, but that doesn't make it evil, right? So can be scary, yeah, but doesn't make it evil. So yes, water, fixed. It's a water sign. It's a fixed sign. And yeah, Scorpio is about our deepest desires, no matter how dark, no matter how scary, whatever, right? So then we move on to Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is IC. It goes from November 22nd to December 21st. It is a fire sign, and it is a mutable sign. So, you know, it's mutable fire, so it's fire that spreads like crazy, right? And that's why it's Sagittarius is IC. Sagittarius has no borders, no bounds. It's going for the long haul. It's going far and doing it all the way through, right? And that's why Sagittarians can get the reputation of being like wild or out there or crazy or whatever, and adventurous, right? It's seeing the bigger picture. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So moving on to Capricorn. So Capricorn is IUs. It goes from December 22nd to January 19th. It is an earth sign, and it is also a cardinal sign. So it is the fourth cardinal sign of the zodiac. And it is also a new beginning, right? It starts off the new year. And it's IU, so that's why people are making their goals, and you know, like they're thinking about their goals with Sagittarius, the mutable fire. IC, like you see the year ahead, you see what you want, and then going into Capricorn, it's like, okay, I need to make these happen. It's Earth, so you're starting off new beginnings with earthly types of things, with material types of things. You're you know, wanting an advancement at work. You're, you know, wanting these goals. And you know, Capricorn is known for you know, it's more of like a wiser person in age of the zodiac, because like if you think of Aries, it starts with like basically you're born, and then Capricorn is like, you know, the more like wise in age sign. So it's almost like, you know, Capricorns can be like very sarcastic at times and stuff like that. So anyway, so yeah, Capricorn is all about you know, Scorpio is kind of like finding your power, and then Capricorn is kind of like using your power, basically. Capricorn can stand for authority figures, our career, our future, where we're going, our goals, all of that. So then we move into Aquarius, and Aquarius is I know. Aquarius is from January 20th to February 18th. It is an air sign, and it is fixed. Okay, so Aquarius is kind of the wild card of the zodiac. It's air sign, but it's fixed in its ideas. It's fixed in its ways. It needs proof for things. It needs analytics. It needs the facts, right? But it's also a rebel. It's also going against the norm and thinking about humanity as a whole, basically. And I always say this, but like the perfect Aquarius, in my opinion, the perfect person to explain Aquarius as a sign was Bob Marley, and he was an Aquarius. But you know, doing something, creating something that's different, and rebelling against the norms of society to help humanity in a different type of way, right? And that's kind of Aquarian for you. I also forgot to mention Capricorn is ruled, sorry, my cat is doing something weird over there. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So very interesting. Aquarius was normally ruled by Saturn, though, until we found Uranus, and then it's been ruled by Uranus as well since. So then we move on to Pisces. Pisces is I believe, and Pisces goes from February 19th to March 20th, and it is a water sign, and it is mutable water. So it is like the ocean, just constantly moving. You don't know where you're going to end up. It's crazy, it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's confusing. You know what I mean? And Pisces is all about, you know, believing. And it's ruled by Neptune, but originally it was ruled by Jupiter. So Pisces is all about endings, and you know, we're that final stage of life where we basically ascend to a different realm, basically, like where we die, or but not just that, like we can experience this Pisces energy in life. We can experience you know, spirituality and going to other realms, and psychic abilities and things that are unexplainable in this life. So that is what Pisces is all about. And yeah, those are the 12 signs of the zodiac. And basically Pisces is the last mutable sign, Aquarius is the last fixed sign, Capricorn is the last cardinal sign. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are all cardinal signs. They are all new beginnings of the year. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are all fixed signs. They're all kind of basically figuring things out, figuring where things go, and trying to make things kind of stable. And then we have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, which are all mutable signs, which are all changing, getting prepared for the new beginning, for the cardinal sign that's about to come after it, right? So, and they're all in order, you know what I mean? Cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, from Aries all the way down to Pisces, you know what I mean? So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, we'll be learning about the houses and then the planets and stuff next. So if you have any questions, let me know, or you can ask in our next live. And I love you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.